Hey everybody, it's Dr. Jason back with part 2 of our videos on inflammation. Yesterday in part 1, I gave you a great working definition, which is what? The body's natural response, the intelligent response to an injury. We talked about its connection to weight loss, but not only that, that's kind of limited to all chronic degenerative disease. So if something's natural, if something's intelligent, if it's a healing response, then how can something good become bad? And that's what we're going to talk about today. This is an amazing article, Attack of the Immune System. It's from Men's Health. And right underneath it says chronic inflammation, right? Inflammation that doesn't go away, can wage a silent war. Remember, in the examples I gave you yesterday, being bitten by a mosquito or a dog, or being burned in a fire, or hurting your shoulder in a sports event. See, that's inflammation on the outside that we can see and feel, but here we're talking about inflammation on the inside. What do I mean? Inflammation in the brain, that's Alzheimer's. Inflammation in the heart, cardiovascular disease, heart disease. In the breast, breast cancer. You see, it's silent, it's hidden. Now, there's a way to know, or begin to know, if you have this, to test for it. We'll talk about that in a second. In the article, it says chronic inflammation wages a silent war, causing, right, weight gain, heart disease, even cancer. It says this is the hottest topic in research right now. It's a hot button topic. That's what it says. And researchers believe it's the cause or contributor to almost all disease. They're actually quoting a medical doctor. He's telling his story. Mentally and physically, his performance was not up to par, and he was shocked to see that his inflammatory markers were very, very high. He says in the article, I tell my patients, you want an immune system that works like a focused laser. That's what I tell you guys. It's your body's way of killing viruses, killing bacteria, foreign proteins, right? Focused laser. But when you have chronic inflammation, it's like your immune system works like a shotgun blast. So there's widespread damage, right? Here's a great analogy. Everybody has watched television, police shows, or movies, dramas like that, where the SWAT team is called in, right, to take out the bad guys. You got the picture? That's actually your body. That's the cells or the soldiers of your immune system. They're dispatched to do a job when you're injured. But always, always, always in these movies, right, there's somebody, usually the captain or the commander, who says, eventually, hold your fire. Now, can you imagine in a situation like that where the shooting kept going forever? I mean, if the soldiers would keep shooting, there would be total chaos. There'd be no coordination, nobody in command. And innocent bystanders would get shot, right? So, it's talking about how, again, in small doses, inflammation is good for the body, as we've said. Any kind of suffering, any kind of sickness, anytime, you have a fever, your body, specifically your immune system, recognizes that you're unwell and what? Dispatches an army of cells, right? And they go to the injured area and they release toxic chemicals. Why would it do that? Why would your body do that? To kill the bad guys, right? When the harmful cells are healed, when they're killed, the inflammation goes down. Okay? But sometimes it stays around. Sometimes they keep attacking and the body stays in a state of constant stimulation. It's no longer acute, temporary, but it's chronic. So what? Well, so it's the cause of all disease. That's why it's so what? So the scary part, right? The scary part is there's no telltale symptoms of chronic inflammation, which is why researchers call it silent killer or hidden disease. Now, one of the best ways to tell if you have this, now think about this, guys. It's the cause of all disease. It's silent. And now we have the technology, we didn't always, to see it lurking in your body. So one of the best ways to tell is to do what's called an HSCRP. Now, HS stands for high sensitivity. That's what we do here. Cardioreactive protein. The inflammation doesn't have to be in the cardiac tissue. It could be, but it doesn't have to be. But it's a very good indicator of heart health. In this paper, my favorite line, right? The doctor says, listen, while this test, obviously, right, is growing in popularity, it's still not commonly understood or even administered by my colleagues. That I can't believe. Another way is to test for what's called homocysteine. That's a marker for B12 health, B12 absorption. We'll go over that a little bit later. As a summary, guys, inflammation plays a huge role in stubborn, resistant weight loss. If you don't address underlying inflammation, you'll never effectively deal with any weight loss challenges you have. In the last 50 years, the advice of eat less, exercise more, drugs and surgery, think about that advice for 50 years, and there's more obesity than ever because they haven't addressed. None of those things address inflammation. And by the way, none of those things address toxicity, which we've talked about. And none of those things address nutritional deficiencies, right? As we said, the problem of chronic inflammation goes way beyond weight, right? It goes way beyond weight. We need to get a person healthy in order for them to lose weight. In the next and final videos on inflammation, we're going to dig deeper about how to measure these things, these two markers, how to ask for them for blood tests, and specifically the levels that you want to see if you're in an optimal or functional range. Okay, so I hope you learned something today. Please make a comment, ask any questions. If you'd like us to reach out to you, to tell you about our free consultations, you can just write yes in the comment section. But please share this video, right? You can call the office directly at 973-376-8383. I appreciate you guys listening, and bye-bye for now.